into the mirror, what do I see? A YouTuber? A person? Who is this guy? I don't know. After giving Young the Giant's Mirror Master a few listens, I've come to the realization that doing an album odyssey on this wouldn't really work, as I've gone through 4 of the songs and I haven't found anything that's been making me want to return beyond trying to marinate in my ideas and listen to it a few more times and just once in order to give it a fair shot at the very least. And unfortunately, there isn't too much on here that I found particularly compelling. Now, obviously, we already went through like 4 of the songs: Superposition, Simplify, Call Me Back, and Heat of the Summer. The one miss on that little list was most likely Heat of the Summer, as I didn't find it anything more than a pop song that was released at the wrong time. Now, obviously, listening to it in the context of the album, it doesn't seem like there's a particularly cohesive narrative that takes over the entire album. Now, Mirror Master, the concept that when I heard the name thought of was immediately trying to master your reflection, trying to master yourself as an individual. And obviously, that's one of the most difficult things to do, depending on who you are, who you may be. Tackling that takes a lot of effort, especially if you're already feeling like you're worthless or feeling like you're not the hugest fan of yourself. It's not about being selfish or being prideful to a degree that is detrimental towards others, but just being able to accept who you are for the flaws, but also being able to embrace yourself for the things that you can do. Like I said, that's really difficult, so I was really interested to see how Young the Giant was going to tackle this potential concept, and unfortunately we kind of didn't really get a focus on that. Now, obviously, the title track Mirror Master, with the energy that it has, I was kind of frustrated because it's the last track, and by the time I got to that track, I didn't feel like a Mirror Master. I didn't feel like anything was really conquered per se. And it feels as though a lot of the lyrics on here are not really, anything that hasn't been stated before. It feels like the lyrics regressed a lot, and the sound is still pretty Young the Giant. Like it's got that same energy when it has to have it, and has that same sober sounding guitars and synths and stuff like that. And they've even added beat switches to like a couple of these songs. I want to say Superposition has a beat switch, and Oblivion switches up too, so that was cool. As far as songs that I liked on here, with the second half, I really, like I said, I like the second half of Oblivion a little bit more than the beginning, because he's saying like the typical stuff. Oh, the rich kids are, not really doing anything to change anything. The dad is doing, drugs, and the mom is just disappointed. They don't really, take that scenario and kind of write it in a way that's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I know this is a thing, but you managed to take it and make it something more than just the surface level. It feels like a lot of the lyrics are surface level, and I was just kind of like, come on guys, y'all are better than this. Beyond the lyrics and stuff like that, Oblivion, I really like the second half of it. I feel like it transitions well from obviously the beginning that's talking and has a little bit more energy, and then it kind of transitions so it sounds as though someone is dying or someone's passing away. And I thought that was really cool, the way it says like you're not alone anymore, and it's sort of like the end of the world in a way. Brother's Keeper has an energy that I like, but I don't really understand what it's supposed to be about. Tightrope has that signature Young the Giant flair, but again, I'm not sure what it was supposed to be about. Like I said before, I feel like the narrative here and the theme is not cohesive at all, and it's kind of detrimental because obviously you have an idea of a concept, and Mirror Master, the title track, seems to basically say that that's the concept, but the songs don't really reflect anyone going through anything and then coming out of it with a different perspective. At the end of Mirror Master, I feel the same as I did when I began the album, and I just was like, okay, I don't really have anything to take from this that I didn't already know about things in the world. As far as like Home of the Strange and Mind Over Matter and
the band's title album. I feel like those did kind of a better job. Now Home of the Strange, the lyrics got a little bit more simple. Like they had already regressed a little bit, but overall it felt like the theme was like really there. But here it doesn't really feel like there's anything to latch on to. I didn't find myself wanting to go revisit any of the songs or anything like that. Like I said, I like Oblivion's second half. I like Tightrope's energy. I like Mirror Master, but at the same time, I don't like it because it just shows what the album could have been. But overall, I think this album's okay. I don't think like it's trash, and I don't think it's bad. I just think that it isn't what it could potentially be as far as narrative goes. Sonically, it's still Young the Giant. They're not doing anything so different like they were on Home of the Strange, which is kind of disappointing because I was kind of interested to see how their sound would evolve because they had released that album about 2 years ago. So, but sticking with what works isn't bad either. I think overall Young the Giant did okay on Mirror Master, and yeah, it's okay. Good job, I guess. Well, this guy says, unfortunately, I have a spoiler alert, which is when it comes to mastering your mirror or your reflection, it's a lot more difficult than you think, and it'll probably be an ongoing battle. So keep on fighting. You'll do great. I believe in you, and just believe in yourself. Try.